Morning everyone. We are here in Troutdale, Oregon for the 3rd annual Bigfoot Festival, and we're just heading to the park right now, so let's get in there, shall we? Well, you can see the line behind me. It's growing already. It's about another 15 minutes before they open up the park for us, and we're going to go get in line now and get inside.
Indian legends tell about a big hairy man that roamed for many years throughout their land. White men laughed and said these legends weren't true, but now old Bigfoot has made man a fool. Bigfoot roams throughout his forest land, feet twice the size of any man. With the moon shining bright on a running stream, you can hear him yelling his mournful scream. Scientists believe he's a missing link. Some people say that he's extinct. Others say something from a bad old dream. But listen to Bigfoot's a mournful scream.
And that's a female Sasquatch, or what we believe to be what a female Sasquatch would sound like, right, Mel?
I believe so, yes. And, I was out on an expedition one time, and there was this really guy that I can't describe him, but he was trying to record that sound, and I would not be anywhere near him when I did that vocalization because I didn't want him to have it. But he.
A mournful scream. Bigfoot is a friend of all the wildlife band. He feeds a little raccoon right from his hands, while the old chipmunk sets a chattering on his knee. Happiness blinds him, so he scarcely can see. Bigfoot's very cunning while walking his grounds. His pets, a bear and cougar, keep away man's hounds. Rising from the ground, smacking dust from his seat, with a great big smile, slowly makes his retreat. Scientists believe he's a missing link.
I don't think they think about that. Go ahead and the microphone, because we're on a live show. No, go ahead. I'm sure your voice is pretty good.
Come on up, right over here.
Better than mine. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, just bring it down there. That'd be perfect. Yeah.
I don't.
Hi,
I'm Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
I don't think even Planet of the Apes had boobs on there.
Yeah, you're right, and that's another thing. Planet of the Apes. Remember back when we were kids, we'd go ape. We'd go to the theater, and you'd pay like what? I don't know what back then it was like $3. And you got to see Planet of the Apes back to back. Sarah did not have boobs. You know, I think maybe Dr. Zayas did, but that's because he was fat. Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it was, you look back at that, you're saying they went to a lot of detail if they wanted to fake something like that. And in fact, it was funny because I talked with Bob, and before Roger Patterson died, they wanted to hunt Bigfoot. He was actually looking for a way to come back and hunt the creature. They didn't want to kill it, they wanted to put it in a net.
Because here's the thing about, like, I'm not a scientist, you know. I had a degree in music, I taught elementary school, I'm a Bigfoot nerd that got lucky and ended up on TV, basically, is the bottom line. But I am an amateur scientist. I always have been. I'm an amateur astronomer, for example. You know, I have a telescope, and I've been doing that since I was 10 or 12. I had the same telescope, in fact, when I was 13. And I also know that amateur astronomers make significant contributions to professional astronomy every year. The amateurs are the ones that discover like new comets, for the most part. The amateur astronomers are the ones that discover strange asteroids and things like that. So amateur scientists have significant contributions to make. So I consider myself an amateur scientist in a way. And every amateur scientist, actually every scientist, their job is to do their very best to prove themselves wrong. You know? Because really science isn't a body of knowledge that everybody like worships or something like that. Science is a process. It's a process to discover what is right, what is true, right? And so if you think something is true, then like for example, this trackway, the London trackway, is a real Bigfoot, and it's sure fooled me. But I'm one of those rare Bigfooters, and I'm actually okay with being wrong about stuff. I learn a lot from being wrong. The only thing I wouldn't know anything but being wrong all the time, so I learn a lot. But I thought that this was a real trackway.
Cliff after Matt, and a cameraman after Cliff. They showed that was the Bigfoot. Cliff was Matt, and the cameraman was Cliff. Is how they portrayed it. But and I've seen several. Like I only had one glimpse of one of the data. Have most of you guys heard my story, my studies before in here? If you've heard me tell my story for my studies, raise your hand. Oh wow, I know you guys. I was just seeing you guys, but I was told it so many times. I'll tell you my last one.
Scientists believe he's a missing link. Some people say that he's extinct. Others say something from a bad old dream. But listen to Bigfoot's a mournful scream. Bigfoot is a friend of all the wildlife band. He feeds a little raccoon right from his hand, while the old chipmunk sits a chattering on his knee. Happiness blinds him, so he scarcely can see. Bigfoot's very cunning while walking his grounds. His pet's a bear and cougar, keep away man's hounds. Rising from the ground, smacking dust from his seat, with a great big smile, slowly makes his retreat.
100 years, which is a lot. I mean, these aren't people who've just been in this field for. I made him feel old now. You know, who have a lot. There's not a lot of people who have been doing it, you know, for 5 or 10 years, or at least that are as known or as well known. So, Paul, welcome to the Oregon Bigfoot Festival, Paul Graves.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So we've had an opportunity to hear your wonderful Sasquatch tunes, and I think it's very unique because we know musicians, we know original songwriters, we know Bigfoot researchers, but you're one of the only few people that I've ever heard of telling your stories through song.
Yeah, I guess there's not too many of us. I was thinking about that the other day. I was trying to think about how many people in the world have written a whole album of Bigfoot songs. Probably not too many. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy. It's great subject matter for writing a song. So my first one, you know, I wrote in about 1995 when I was signed to a band label with my band, and it was called Mountain Monkey. And then wrote another one in 1999, and then just started putting them out. You know, I just started writing more and more of them. It was just there was always something that came up that was good subject matter to write about. So
yeah, one of your songs is called Jim Henry, and so you've told that story through song. For those who haven't had an opportunity to hear that, can you tell us about the Jim Henry story?
Yeah, so
while the old chipmunk sits a chattering on his knee, happiness blinds him, so he scarcely can see. Bigfoot's very cunning while walking his grounds. His pet's a bear and cougar, keep away man's hounds. Rising from the ground, smacking dust from his seat, with a great big smile, slowly makes his retreat.
Say in like sand or dirt?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I kind of wanted to talk about that because Mel was talking about the different footprints, sizes, and the stride.
Yeah.
Or the step. A step would be heel to heel. So what's called a step is heel to heel, from one heel to the next heel. A stride is from the same foot to the same foot. So it'd actually be almost like 2 steps. So that there's a difference in that. No, this was one of the most incredible trackways that I've investigated in my lifetime of doing research. And it was just outside of the town of Wenatchee. This thing had come down out of the mountains. It was February, so it'd been a hard winter. This was 2000, a couple years ago. I was brought to the attention by someone who called me up. I actually didn't find the tracks myself. I was brought to the attention, but I went out there and started investigating them. And when I came onto this trackway, I was blown away. You know, I'm a pretty good tracker myself. I'm not a professional tracker. I am an amateur tracker, self-taught, and taught by other people throughout the years. I'm 58 now, so I'm pretty good. I've spent my whole life in the Cascade Mountains, and you know, pretty good at tracking.
So he scarcely can see. Bigfoot's very cunning while walking his grounds. His pet's a bear and cougar, keep away man's hounds. Rising from the ground, smacking dust from his seat with a great big smile. Slowly makes his retreat. Scientists believe he's a missing link. Some people think that he's extinct. Others say something from the bad old dream. But listen to Bigfoot, a mournful scream. Pretty soon modern day man's so sane will try and take Bigfoot from his domain. The tranquilizer guns that sting and smart, his heels will hold sadness and heavy hearts. Scientists believe he's a missing link. Some people think that he's extinct. Others say something from the bad old dream. But listen to Bigfoot, a mournful scream.